I want to talk today about daddies. Where to start with this one? Daddies, be daddies. That's all I can. That's that sums it up pretty much. Um, if I make a video solely about fathers and being a father, the video would be 20 hours long. I'm gonna just try to talk about a specific subject today and elaborate later on in other videos. But today, I want to talk about the effects that a father has on his daughter. A lot of times, we see young girls, especially young black girls, in the world living a worldly life, doing things that are unbecoming of a young lady, and we want to blame her. We want to put the blame on this girl and blame her and call her a slut, a whore, a bitch, whatever words we come up with to describe this girl. But what we don't see is all the internal things that this girl is struggling with, that she's been going through for God knows how long. In my own life, I've talked to many, 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 many women about their own lives and about the things that they've gone through, the things that they've experienced in their life. And more times than not, when the girl that I was talking to had gone through some things or put herself in positions that did her harm or associated herself with people who were no good for her, it usually stemmed back to her father. It almost always stems back to the dad. I know girls that have turned to drugs or become strippers or become scantily clad models or become lesbians or just you name it, I've heard it. All of these girls that have gone through these things stems to their father. It stems to their relationship with their dad. The relationship was never right. It was never there was never any substance with the relationship. I'd ask them about the relationships with their dad, and it was usually non-existent or very little at all. The point to that is fathers who have daughters, you have to be there for them. You have to raise them with love. You have to talk to them and find out what's going on with them and to teach them and to instruct them. You can't just have a kid. You can't just have a daughter and then just live your life and think, well, all I gotta do is be here if she needs some money or protect her if somebody trying to hurt her. There's more to it than that. It's more to it than that. You can't just be a dad to a girl part time. You have to be a father full time to a young girl who, especially in this society, is growing up in this world. You have to be there for them. You have to be there to to be their shoulder for them to cry on, to be their support when they're going through things. They get in these relationships with these guys, and half the time you don't even know it as a father. You don't even know what your daughter's out there doing half the time because you don't care to find out. You don't care to talk to them. A lot of times girls don't even feel secure enough to even call on their father. If the father is there, they don't even feel secure enough to call on him when they're going through the things that they're going through. Because they feel like, what he gonna tell me? He's not gonna be there for me. They don't have no faith in him. That's wrong. That's wrong. And that's why we see a lot of the girls doing the things that we're doing. I don't know if you go on YouTube and you just see girls on YouTube, just it's millions and millions of videos of girls just on YouTube shaking their booties on YouTube and dancing all in the camera with hardly any clothes on. Like, why do they feel like they need to do that? To get to it's an attention seeking thing. They're seeking after this attention that they never got from their dad. They don't know that. They're doing it and they're thinking, oh no, it ain't got nothing to do with it. Yes, it does. It has everything to do with that. Because if you're an involved father and if you're involved in your daughter's life and you raised her and you're diligent in it, she won't need that. She won't need that attention that she's seeking because she's got it already. She doesn't need the validation of somebody telling her that she's beautiful because she's got it from you. She doesn't need the validation of somebody telling her that she's worth something because you've already given her that. You've already given her all the things that she needs. So then when she goes out and she starts dating, she knows how to, she has the confidence to pick and choose and say, oh no, you're not good for me. If somebody mistreats her, she can walk away. She doesn't have to stay there because she feels like, oh, this is the only love I'm ever going to get is from this guy now. No, it doesn't have to be that way. Because you as a father should have already instilled those things in her. And the thing is, I mean, these girls are going through some horrific things and they're not talking about it to anybody because they don't feel like they can. You know, a lot of these young girls are raped. A lot of them are molested, and they're not saying anything because daddy ain't there for them. He not there to talk to them. He not there to support them, to be that rock that they need in their life. And that's the whole thing that this comes down to is fathers being a rock for their daughters and being there for them. I mean, because if you don't, the end result is going to be something horrible half the time. More than half the time, it's going to be something bad. I mean, I was watching a movie. I can't even remember what the name of the movie was, but one of the lines in the movie, the guy was talking about a stripper, and one of the things that he says about the stripper, he says, a girl dancing on a pole with daddy issues. Now that's just funny that he mentioned that in the movie. It's one of the lines in the movie, but it's the truth. It's the truth. These girls are hurting. They're hurting, but we as society, we label them and we talk mess about them. You know, if we see a young girl out there, she's prostituted, we talk about that young girl. Look at her out there just hoeing herself. No, she's misguided. She doesn't feel love. The pimp is giving her the false sense of love that she didn't get before. That's why the little girls call the pimp daddy. That's why they're calling him that, because he's saying, I'll be your daddy. Since you don't have one, I'll be your daddy and I'll take care of you. And so now the girl is doing whatever she can do to make this man happy, which also includes her getting on her knees and having sex with any man to get money to give to him. All because her daddy wasn't there. If her daddy was there, believe me, she wouldn't be doing it. I have 2 daughters. Yeah, they're little babies right now, but one day they're going to be older, and I'd be damned if I stand by and let anything happen to my little girls. I mean, anything, the slightest little thing that could hurt them. I'm going to be there to protect them. And that's the thing that a lot of men nowadays aren't doing. And especially the men that are having the children with women that they're not with or women that they're no longer with. A lot of times a man will have a child with a woman and they don't be together and he'll just leave and act like his child don't even exist. He'll act like she's not even there anymore. That's wrong. You can't do that. And then they make a bunch of excuses as to why they weren't there. Oh, because I ain't had no money, or my license was suspended and I couldn't drive, or whatever the case may be. That's nothing but a bunch of bull. Because the thing is, you can be there for them. You can be there. And like I said, I could feel this conversation I would go for an extended period of time. I can feel in myself right now that I'd be talking for a long time about this. So pretty much all I want to say is be a daddy to your daughters and be there for them and talk to them and find out what's really going on with them. And don't just talk at them. You're going to do this and you're going to do that. Listen to what they got to say. When you talk to them, ask them how they feel about these things. And don't just take, I don't know, for an answer. Because if you haven't been talking to your daughter and you start asking her questions, she's going to do this. That's what she's going to do. She's going to start saying, I don't know, or I don't know how I feel, because she's not used to talking about how she feels. But you got to be patient and you got to talk to her. So all I can say is talk to your daughters and be there for them.